Okay, so to start making my Christmas stuffing, the first step is to prepare the cranberries. In my recipe I stated to use 50 grams of dried cranberries. I decided to use fresh cranberries simply because I've got a whole punnet of them and I just want to use them up. So you can use dried or you can use fresh. I've got fresh there. I'm also going to use the port. I'm using tawny port. You can get two kinds of port, tawny or ruby port, and the difference between them both is simply the aging process. Ruby port's a lot fresher, and tawny port, you know, it's aged over quite a long time, sometimes as much as 20 years, and there's a difference in flavour. So it has a more, so tawny port has a lot more of a nutty flavour, where ruby port is quite sweet. You can use either. I only decided to use tawny port just because I didn't want this sweetness to be so overpowering in this stuffing. So 30 grams of the port, and I'm just going to add that to the cranberries. The next thing I'm going to use, and I hope I pronounced this correctly, is the pomegranate molasses. And all it is the juice from pomegranate reduced to produce a syrup, a really thick syrup. It is available in supermarkets. I actually got it from a health food shop in Bristol, but you can get it from supermarkets, and it's between £2 to £3. It has a sweet and sour flavour, and if you can't source it, you can use balsamic vinegar because it's quite similar to that. So I'm going to add that. So this is 2 tablespoons of the pomegranate molasses. I'm going to add that to the cranberries. There you go. Right. There you go. And I'm just going to mix it. And then I'm just going to leave that aside while I just do the next steps. Okay, so the next step is to fry the onions. So I've just put that on a medium heat. I'm going to add a tablespoon of oil. You can use olive oil, rapeseed oil, sunflower oil, something not so strong in flavour. So that's about a tablespoon. Yep. There you go. I'm just going to heat that up. Okay. And I'm going to add the finely diced shallots, just 1 shallot there, a finely diced small to medium red onion here, and 2 cloves of crushed garlic. And I'm just going to add that all in. There you go. See, it's sizzling. Wow, brilliant. There you go. So I'm just going to cook that. It's going to probably take about 5 minutes, and what I want is for it to be quite soft, you know, just starting to brown. It shouldn't burn at all, so you have to be careful and not put it too much on a high heat. It will probably take about 5 minutes. I could stand here and just record 5 minutes of cooking onions, but I don't think you'd want to really watch me cook onions for 5 minutes. So I could talk about something else actually. What could I talk about? Could talk about my makeup. Could talk about my makeup, couldn't I? Just like when I watch other videos, not cooking videos, but you know, videos or just sort of posts on Instagram or something, and it's got nothing to do with fashion or makeup, and then you look at the comment section and people are asking, oh, where's that jumper from, or where's that scarf from, or oh, I really like your lipstick, where's that from? It's got nothing to do with what they're talking about at all. So even though you actually can't see me you can't see my face right now, I will record you know, me talking. But actually, the reason why I'm late doing this video is mainly because I took such a long time doing my makeup. And I swear it took me longer doing my makeup than it actually was going to take during this whole video. And I'm bound to get asked where my lipstick's from, so I just thought I can just like say where my lipstick is from. So my lipstick, which you will see in a bit, is from a company, a brand called Milanese. I think it's Italian. And there you go. I think I'm supposed to bring the lipstick here. There you go. There you go. See, it's a beautiful red colour, and the colour's called New York. There you go. Just in case people ask me later, even though you can't really see it right now. Okay, so the next step after frying the onion and garlic mixture, which I actually fried for a couple more minutes, so 7 minutes altogether. I think that's perfect. So that's just left aside. Is to basically put all the ingredients together. So I'm going to start with the 200 grams of minced pork. So all that in. The reason why I'm using sausage meat and minced pork, normally you would use the sausage meat for a stuffing. I'm using minced pork as well, basically because of the texture. It's quite nice. I'm using obviously free range organic. To that I'm going to add the onion mixture. There you go. So there. And to that I'm going to add the Zest of One Whole Orange, which I have here on a dessert spoon. There you go. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of fresh thyme leaves, and to that I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of fresh sage leaves. And then I'm going to add 50 grams of chopped dried apricot, and I'm going to add 100 grams of fresh Panko breadcrumbs, which is basically Japanese breadcrumbs. You can use white breadcrumbs if you want to, fresh, you know, freshly sort of whizzed up in a food processor or from a packet. I've just chosen to use Panko breadcrumbs just because I think it's a little bit more crispier, but really you can use either. I'm just going to add all that in. That's nicely mixed through. And to that I'm going to add the ground spices. So I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt, but for this I'm using sea salt. So a teaspoon of ground black pepper. I'm going to use half a teaspoon of ground nutmeg and a teaspoon of allspice. I'm going to mix that all through. So to that I'm going to add the cranberries, which I've basically marinated for probably about an hour now. I'm going to add that through. There you go. Just mix that. There you go, nicely mixed through. And then I'm going to add the final ingredients, which is a beaten whole egg. I'm going to add that in. All nicely mixed through, and I'm going to put half of the mixture in a greased baking dish, and the rest of the mixture I'm going to make into stuffing balls. So I'll do that first. I'm going to take probably about a tablespoon of the mixture with 1 fresh cranberry. If you're using dried cranberries, you can use, probably estimate how many you're using, maybe like 1 or 2, because dried cranberries go a bit smaller, don't they, I think. So I've just pushed that fresh cranberry into the middle of the ball. There you go, about that size. Is that a golf ball? That's a golf ball actually, isn't it?
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah, not. Let's do another one.
So you've never been swinging?
No, I haven't. Okay, sorry about that. That's my husband. So now we're just waiting. We've put a couple of the stuffing balls in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius. Gas mark 4, Edward?
Yeah, that's right.
So Edward's just put them in the oven and we're going to bake them for about 25 minutes. I think they've been in for about 7 minutes now.
Yeah, that's right.
And we're just going to wait, so we're just going to have a little chat with a cup of tea and some biscuits. We got some biscuits yesterday. Did we get them yesterday? No, we didn't. We got them this morning.
Yeah.
And the first...
We're talking about some carrots, aren't we?
I was talking about the biscuits though.
Yeah.
The first tray is nearly gone. And that's because of our daughters. Even our little daughter, who's 10 months now, she's been eating them too. She looks like a little hamster when she eats them. Yeah, we were talking about carrots. So yesterday we went to Waitrose just to do a bit of shopping for Christmas. And basically, me and my husband were looking at carrots. He picked up a bag of just normal carrots, the normal variety, and I said, no, it's Christmas, I want to get these carrots. So these ones, Chantenay Carrot Trio. And the reason why I wanted to get them is because they just look so pretty. They're white, orange and purple.
Genetically modified?
They're not genetically modified at all. So my husband seems to think they're genetically modified, but they're not actually. I googled it, and I basically googled, are purple carrots genetically modified? They're not. Actually, they've been around a lot longer than orange carrots. Nope, white carrots are also natural. But
genetically modified carrots can be the same colour.
Well, those aren't, because they're Waitrose. Waitrose won't do that. These have also come from Nottingham, so very British.
A very good lab up there. I've heard.
No, they're very British and they're completely natural. So anyway, we're having purple, white and orange carrots for Christmas. You can also see my lipstick now. I was talking about my lipstick. I can talk about it again, actually. I don't mind talking about makeup. So
they're not paying for this, though.
Not paying for anything, actually. They're just watching my video.
But there are other manufacturers out there of lipstick.
If they want to send me their lipstick,
Very good brands.
I can talk about their lipstick too. So this brand is called the Milanese Mattify Lip Rouge, and the colour is New York. It's nice. It's a nice sort of pinky red colour. Very nice. So I've got that on today. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve, and
obviously
my husband Edward is going to do a video.
You're going to be stuffing the turkey.
You're not going to stuff the turkey, you're going to prepare the turkey. He's going to show us how to prepare the perfect turkey. He did this last year. The turkey just turned out just amazing. It was just, normally turkey is quite a dry meat, and honestly it wasn't dry at all. It was just so moist, it was really yummy. So he's going to show us how to do that. He's going to do it, we're going to do it tomorrow. We're going to cook it tomorrow as well. It's fine, we don't need to cook it on Christmas Day. It's a really huge turkey. We've got enough to eat on Christmas Day. So you can do this on Christmas Day after watching it tomorrow. So Edward's going to do that. That should be fun. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you really enjoyed it. And come back tomorrow to watch Eddie do the turkey.